Alright, so hello everyone, welcome to the third video on this channel. This is going to be one of the most important videos, as I would be telling you about a really important tool to use while using Visual Bukkit 6. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. So I want you to open your browsers real quick and download the latest version of Visual Bukkit. This one right here, I'll just leave the link in the description, and then keep your browser open and search up for paper javadocs. After searching that, just click on this one here. Don't worry, I just post the link in the description. Then just click this thing right here. So it should redirect you to like this page. So make sure it's the correct version, the latest one, because Visual Bukkit is for only 1.20.x and above. So just bookmark this site if you want, or just remember the site address if you just like to type it. Just keep it handy because you're going to use it really quickly. So now, to not make video extremely long, I'm just going to be having all of my plugins, not plugins, but all of my example codes ready. I already have them. So click the block, flying sheep, apply properties, no, not that one. Yeah, so these three things, I'm just going to be opening them. So now basically what I have done is I just created these things. You can actually just copy them for now. I'll just be explaining what's happening right here, and pretty much all of the things that you need to know, the extra things which I had not told you in the previous video. Alright, so just give me a second. So now, before actually proceeding, I would like to explain some things to you all. So if I just search up, let's say, item stack. So many of you know what an item stack is. If you don't, it's just stack of items. As you can see right here, this tool is really important. It's javadocs. It's like the basic encyclopedia kind of thing to Spigot coding, not Spigot just but overall Minecraft plugin development. You'll find similar javadocs for other APIs if you use them. And without talking about them, let's just move on. So the first thing which I had not told in the previous video is a constructor. So you already know what an object is. To create an object, we use a constructor. Alright, that's as simple as that. I don't want to make it complicated. Next up we have deprecated methods. So as you can see right here, this says it is deprecated. Not just methods, but even constructors and other things can be deprecated. So when it's deprecated, it's just like recommended not to use it. The reason would be provided right below it, as you can see right here in this case. And if, for example, there is something else which does similar thing, but it's just deprecated, this method is deprecated, but you want to have that item still, then you can just see the recommended class or method provided besides. So like right here we have set durability and stuff like that. So it's just deprecated again, so you can just have this thing right here, but I'm just not going to be dropping into that a lot. So now, for example, I don't know what a material is. Let's just say I don't know what a material type is, this thing. Alright, I just click it. After clicking it, it opens up what that thing is. So it says an enum of all material IDs accepted by the official server and client. So now you might be asking, what's an enum? So the next thing, I'm just going to be explaining that. So an enum is like a list of items or things, you can say, which are final or constant. They don't change. Alright, so that's pretty much it. Those are the three things I wanted you to know. So now let's just get back to our Visual Bukkit app. So now first we are going to take a look at what are components. So this name is not really important, you can just name it whatever you want, but this list of things are important. Now your list may not look like this, so what you can do to fix that is go to plugin settings right here and then click on modules, and then you can just like it will be like this, and you can just click GUI manage thing, and then click that arrow right there, and it's going to be on that side, and now you can use that as well. So it says project reload is required, so I just reload it. My project's reloaded, and now I can just have those components, as you can see, GUI and GUI click handler. So I'll be explaining each of these things one by one. So a command is like basically a command, so you might have used it on servers and even in Minecraft, so single player world. So for example, like slash play and a game's name, so that's basically a command. Then we have directly skipping to the third one. This is event listener. So what's an event listener? You may ask. So like an event listener is basically an event fired when something happens. So if I just like search up event right here, don't mind this thing. So if I just search up event right here, then as you can see, there are a lot of events, right? So block form event. So for example, if I take block form event, it will be fired when a block is formed due to XYZ reason. Like for example, if you have a cobblestone generator or something like that, I don't know, pretty much it can fall under block form event. Then like let's just have entity combust by entity event, let's just say. Then it will be like when a blaze shoots a player or the mob and it dies due to the heating effect, then this event would be fired. I'm just picking out randomly, it's not like my cherry picked ones. So end portal event and all of those stuff, you can just actually click on them and it will say when it's called. So it's called when a non-player entity is about to teleport because it is in contact with a portal. So that makes sense, alright? And you can just search up pretty much everything and have the description. Now there may be some Java terms you don't know, but I just recommend you to Google them out, or maybe message me on Discord and I'll explain it to them, explain it to you. So now moving on, we have a GUI. So GUI, if you remember, is like an inventory in which click events are cancelled. So what are click events? They are events fired when an item in an inventory is clicked. So you might have seen those game selector compasses in which you just click the block but you can't take it in your inventory and it still sends you to other worlds and other lobbies maybe. So GUI is just used to create an inventory like that, and GUI click handler is used to handle the stuff. For example, if you click an apple, you want to go some world. If you click like a dirt block, you want to go to other world. So just leave it as it is for now. And next up we have plugin enable. So it's plugin enable and disable are two things which are extremely simple. They're just like the things that are run whenever the plugin is enabled or disabled. So now let's just talk about what a consumer, function and procedure is. So in Java we have void methods and certain return methods. So the get methods you would see from now may fall under function. So if we, for example, want to get a player or get a player's name, function is used on the back end. You don't actually just need to use a function because you already have all the methods, so you just don't need a function. But for example, if you want to apply something on a player or have some calculation, like maybe even extract the name of the item from the material string, you will just not understand it right now, but just try to relate to what I'm trying to say. Then you can just perform some string methods on the string that you already have and then get the name maybe as well, and then you can just return the name using a function. So in the last video I had talked about consumer. It's actually a little bit different, I guess, because at that time I too did not know what it was. But the consumer is like you apply, for example, this is what I'm giving. So for example, if you have a sheep or any other mob, then you can use a consumer to actually like add some effects and stuff to a certain data type. So the data type or the thing was an entity for me. So it's just like hard to explain right now, but when I'll open its code, it will be fairly simple to understand. Then the last thing, which is procedure, is a void method. Now what's a void method? It's like a method similar to a function, but in function you actually like return something. But if you don't want to return, for example, I want to print a certain number of statements to a player, so I can just use a procedure, so I don't have to like add those blocks again and again into my code. I can just run the procedure and it will run automatically for me. So those are the basic components that you may know about. So now let's just have an example. So in a command you have these all properties. So this thing right here is the name of the command, as it says right here. So you don't actually have to use a slash, it's just directly this thing. And so whenever slash hi, say hi is 1, this thing is fired. Then alias is like the other thing that you can run to run the same command. So if I run /h, then this code will be run again. Description is like says hi back to you, so like what the command does falls under the description. The permission is like the permission needed by the players who use the command. Permission message is like the message displayed to the player when the player is not having the required permission. And then usage is just basically the command and what you can have. And now let's just have a look at this thing. So this method right here is from a player class. Now what's the class? You already know it. So we just search up player because the command sender is a player. Alright, so I just search up and I get it right here. Then I just want to send a message back to the player. So I just search up, send a message. And there are a lot of things, but you actually need the string one right here because you already don't know what these are. So you just know what the string is. So you just keep that in. And then you have a player. So what's the player? It's the command sender. Just search up right here and you'll most probably get it. And for example, if you don't have, you have something like this and you maybe not be able to find it right here, don't worry, just right click on insert and then just select one of these. So just pass in string and I say hi there. So that's pretty much it for this example of command. Let's just move on to second thing, which is collect the block. This is a simpler example. This is a little bit complicated for now. I'll go to it, but not for now. So I'm just going to use a player interactive event. Now how did I know which event to use? So it's a player event, but you might search of like player click block event or something, but you don't know because it's just not there. No event like that exists. But if you have some decent knowledge on these things, then you can just search a player interactive event and you'll get all of the related things right there. But if you still don't find it, just search up like which event is fired, if I can spell it, which event is fired when a player clicks in paper MC. So as you can see right here, it says this as well, and you can see some Java code on Spigot MC as well, this Spigot threads. So you may find some like Java things right here, but the main thing would be the thing, like the method, I would say. So just try to search up a proper name for the method and you can just use it. So I have a player interactive event, so it's used to check when something is clicked. So I'm going to print or return a block name, the name of the block, like you just clicked a thing. So for that I actually have a local variable right here. I've stored the name over here. Now previously I had told you could use a function, and that's exactly what you can do. So I'm just probably going to try it for now and hopefully don't mess it up. So I'd say get name maybe. So okay, this is the function. So when I run the function, I just want to return function return right here. I just want to return what? So it's going to be string thing right here. This thing, I just cut it from here, I just paste it in here. Don't worry, it's not going to be this much complicated for you if you just use the previous thing, but if you want to be a little bit fancy and have some decent things, you can just use this. And for now, let me just fix it. For those of you who can understand this thing, you can just copy this code. And first method, we are going to be lowercasing the material. So earlier we had seen how the material looked like. So it was like acacia underscore plank in all capital. So we can just lowercase it and it will be acacia underscore plank in lowercase. Then we just do this thing right here, and we actually just replace the underscore with a space. After replacing that, we actually just, so it's wait, real bad, I'm really sorry. You just go the opposite order in Visual Bukkit. So first we just get the block and we get the type of the block. Alright, so it asks us which block is it, so we say it's the event.get block, but it says which event, so we say it's the function argument number 1. So whenever I call the function, it would ask me for an argument. So for example right here, it could be anything, but I just want to run a function. So function, the get name function, new list, yep, list right here. I just add in first object as current event because we are argument or number 0, so like these start from 1 2 3 0 1 2 3, so 0th argument would be the 0th element of this list. You just don't understand it right now, just ask it on Discord, I'll explain it in brief, but I just pass in that. And now let's just get back. So we get the block, we get its type, and we convert it to a string. Then we replace the underscore with a space. Then we just like merge these things and we lowercase it. It should actually be replaced, like this thing should be replaced with this thing, but it's alright for now. You can do it by yourself. So moving on, we have an if statement. We negate. So for example, if I click in the air, it would return a null. So I don't want a null pointer exception or an error, so I'll just check if the block clicked is not null. And after checking that, I can just like run my method, which is player.sendMessage again. I just do this thing right here. So block name would be this thing right here, so it would say you just click some block. Alright, so now that's fairly simple to understand. If you still don't understand it, just contact me on Discord. If you just like, alright, I'll just get back to it later on, but for now let's just move on. Alright, so flying sheep. So imagine if you have a certain item, for example a diamond sword for us, and if you click a sheep, let's say that's the mob, if you want to if you like click a sheep and want to send it flying, then what to do? So first thing, ask yourself which event would you use. It could be entity damage, but so let's just say I search up entity damage event, because sheep is basically an entity, so I just say entity damage event. So after just searching it up, alright, I just click on it because I don't know what an entity damage event is. So you can just actually see the tree from where it comes and just maybe stumble across some cool things, but I'm just not going to be going deep into that. So as you can see right here, it's cancelable. So what are cancelable methods? I just forgot about it, but quickly, cancelable methods or events are like, for example, if I hit a sheep and I don't want any player to hit a sheep, then I can just cancel the event after checking that the entity which was damaged was a sheep. So now I actually need to get the damager the person who damaged this sheep, because only with the help of that I will be able to like get the item that that player or damager was holding and check if that was my item, like the diamond sword. So I just search it up over here, but I don't find it. Let's just say I search entity damage dot get damage. So it's not there. I just get these things. So I just search up how I could get damager. Oh, we have entity damage by entity event and by block as well, but we just don't use it because a player is an entity. So I just look at this thing right here and it's pretty much good. So now I know I would use entity damage by entity event. So after knowing that, also by the way, if you don't know what priority is, just open up your Discord. If you're not on the server, just join it and you'll have a special tag which you can search. I'll just show it up in a little bit after my Discord opens. Alright, it's open. So if I just search up right here real quick in the bot commands, event priority, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, so I just click over here and these are basically all the event priorities. As you can see right here, these are all of them. You just see the description right there. So moving on, we actually need to make sure two conditions are correct. So first condition for us would be that the entity that is damaged is a sheep, and the second condition would be to check if the item was a certain item. It's going to be a diamond sword, so instead of creating a new item stack of diamond sword, we can actually just check if the type of the item is diamond sword. So I've actually used this block right here called Boolean logic, and you have three operations. I'll just list the truth tables on the screen so as to give you a better idea. So now if both of the conditions are true, only then this code would be 1, or else it won't be 1 if either of them is correct or none of them is correct. Alright, so for example, let me just explain it right now. If I use OR, if either of those or both of those are correct, then and only then this will be 1. If both of them are false or not correct, then it won't run. But for our case, we want both of them to be correct. So let's just look at the first thing. You can add them with this plus right here if you want multiple of them. So the first thing right here is we are comparing. Also, by the way, you can just search is equal or like that in here and you'll just get the thing. Don't worry too much, putting blocks is like a kid's play. So the first thing right here we're going to be checking is if it's a sheep. So a sheep by itself is not like an entity. Wait, let me just rephrase. So an entity by itself is not like a sheep or cow. There are multiple sheep or cows in an area, so you can just say you can't actually just say that kill the sheep. It would ask which sheep. There are multiple of them, so you specify what the thing is. So for us it's going to be get entity type, not get entity. Please make sure you see the field. So if I just run up field type, if I'm not wrong, yep, as you can see right here, this is a very basic example. You can just read it by yourself over here and understand. The whole point is don't make any mistake in the field, because almost more than 70% of the people make a mistake there. Even I myself had previously made a mistake right here. I won't lie with y'all, but make sure you don't make a mistake. Alright, so that's the first thing we're going to check, if the entity type, not the entity, is equal to sheep, because there are multiple sheep. Alright, so the second thing we actually just check is we check the type of the items. So this is basically like we just get the damager first, then we get the item in the main hand of the damager, and then we actually just get the type of the item. After that we just check it if it's equal to. field. Make sure it's not method right here, it's field. So if it's class material, of course, because this would return a material, as you can see after the arrow. So I just select that, and I'll just select diamond sword because I want that to happen. Then now the main question, how would you actually make the sheep go flying? So if you're playing Minecraft for some time, you know Shulker, when they hit those ball things, they just apply levitation and send you flying. So I at least know that I have to like apply an effect, which is like the thing which I told, the levitation effect. So if I just search up effect right here, there isn't something specific right here. There are a lot of things. So let's just say I want some entity dot effect or something. There is just nothing. So what I can do actually, after not being able to find the correct thing over here, is I can just search how to add an effect to an entity, and then behind you can just add spigot or paper or bucket if you want, but spigot community is more better for now, I guess. So I'll just search up spigot at the end. And like, wait, is this the correct thing? Yeah, it's the correct thing. So this guy is asking if the thing is. So as you can see right here, the reply, cast living entity to call living entity dot add potion effect. Now what's casting, you may ask? Just search up right here for now, living entity. So in the previous video I had told you about super interfaces and sub interfaces. So just related to here, if I just find myself actually living entity in this list because it's a sub interface, hopefully. So yep, right here somewhere. Let me just find it. Oh wait, we have human entity. Alright, wait, in the super interfaces we actually have entity right here. And for example, in the future, if you find out human entity, then a living entity can be cast to human entity as well, and an entity can be cast to a living entity as well. I was just finding a perfect example and I got it. So you know how to do that thing, what happens after what. So now you don't actually need to cast anything because VB does it by itself for you. So the first method itself, you can just apply these things. Alright, so I want to add a potion effect, so just look at these things. Alright, so if I just open this up right here, I have living entity dot add potion effect. So which living entity? It's the entity in the current event, the damaged entity. Alright, so that's just going to cast by itself to living entity. You don't need to worry about that too much. So we just need to pass in a potion effect, as you can see right here. So I just select potion effect and the constructor for it. So now I just don't know what the values I need to pass. I can just read them right here, or I can search them up over here as well. So potion effect, if I just search it up right here, I'll get to see constructor details. Yep, right here. So I can just look at these and I can understand what they are. So you can just copy them down for now. And now for the final part, I'm just going to be building my plugin right here and testing all of the things I've talked about. Alright, so you can just build your plugin real quick, then you can just maybe copy this position by Control-Cing that, and then open your file explorer, Control-V, and then you just go there. So now plugin 1.0, this thing, just Control-C, copy it, and I'm just going to be going that to my server. And in the plugins folder, I'm just going to be pasting that. So you can just replace it, I'd say. And run your server. So by the time it's just running the server, let me just open my Minecraft thing. Alright, so like as you can see, my server is started as well, and now I can just join it. So first, let's just test the say hi command. So slash say hi, and it says hi there. I'm just going to be going in my safe corner for a second. And if I just say /sh, it's just going to be saying the same thing. Now for the second plugin, if I just right click or left click this thing, it's going to be telling me what I had clicked, which was the event part which I had shown you. So real quick, if I just hit this cow, it's not actually going to send it flying. Just let me get rid of this thing. Alright, so if I just summon myself a sheep, and if I hit it, it's going to go flying, as you can see right there. And then it's going to fall after the effect is ended, and it dies. Alright, so those are the three things. Now this video is really long, but it's like really important as well. IDK how much time it took me to edit, but hopefully the future me is not that tired. That's pretty much it. I'd like you all to just join the Discord server right here. This one I'll leave the link in the description, and maybe I'll also have like a personal thread of mine within the server, so that I can actually just like post all of this code for you all to copy. Alright, and for the next video I do have an idea. I'm not sure how long it's going to be taking me, but hopefully it just does not take a long time. And that's pretty much it for today's video. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.